Hey guys, String Say Greg here. Welcome to part 2 of my Paul Gilbert series. Now I know what you're thinking.
Oh my god, String Say Greg part 2. I didn't even know the part 1, or I didn't even learn it because I'm just super lazy or whatever my excuse was.
Well, shut up, don't be silly. Learn today's lesson, go back, and then learn part 1. You're welcome. Alright, so part 2. What is it? Why have you summoned us, Greg? I'm glad you asked. So, in part 1, we looked at his string skipping arpeggios. Part 2, we're going to be looking at his speed picking techniques. Now, Paul Gilbert is super famous for his insane speed picking here. He has a lot of different patterns, but I'm picking kind of his most infamous, most recognizable pattern. And I know you heard the intro and go,
oh my god, I can't possibly do that. Oh my god.
Well, shut up. I'm going to show it to you slow, and I give you lots of different options of how to play it, and just practice it at the speed that's good for you. Use a metronome and just slowly speed it up each day. Alright, enough of the talky talk. Let's get to the Paul Gilbert shreds. Okay, so before we get into the actual lesson part, let's talk about the pickup selection. So this is staccato picking.
Oh my god, what's staccato picking?
Well, shut up. I'm going to tell you right now. Staccato picking. It means we're picking every single note. We're making it very articulate. The best pickup for this is the neck pickup. Why, you say? It adds a little bit more bass, a little bit more clarity. I'll demonstrate the difference now. So if you did this without it, it's kind of too scratchy sounding. We want it to sound like this. Just a little bit cleaner. So if you don't have a neck pickup, don't worry, just use your bridge. But if you do, use that. All right. As far as the picking pattern goes and the actual thing we're doing here, very simple. For the example, we're in the key of A minor, so I'm starting on the 10th fret of the B string. And this is a very simple 6-note pattern. He just plays it really fast, so it sounds super fancy. So we're going to play 10, 12, 13 on the B string. And then we're going to go down to the high E and play 10 on the high E. And come back to 13, 12 on the B. So it's... Now, the way I'm breaking it up for this video is you're going to do that 3 times in a row. And then the 4th time, I just play 4 notes to kind of give it a stop feel. I just do 10, 12, 13 on the B, and then 10 on the high E. So if I put this together... Okay, you can feel free to make up your own variation. We can do this all over the neck. So another example I did in the beginning is I moved it to the B position, which is just 2 frets to the right. Same exact thing, 12, 14, 15, go down to 12, come back up to 15 and 14. Now, obviously, don't play it at these speeds, but I just don't want to bore you to death. Okay, now as far as how to do this best with the left hand, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can do it the way I'm kind of showing you now, which is moving your first finger down to the 10th fret every time you do it, and then bringing it back up. But really the best way, it's a little bit more advanced, but the best way to do this is actually just barring your first finger. It's a little cleaner, and it's a lot harder to do that, obviously. If you suck at barring, don't worry about it, but if you're able to do it, that's really the best way to get this very clean. Right, so you don't want any of that noise, potentially, by skipping the strings. So you can, again, move this anywhere. It gets easier as you go to the right and move up the neck. Right? And as far as the picking goes with the right hand, this is pure alternate picking. So you want to go down, up, down for this entire thing. There's no down picking. There's no weird, outside picking, whatever. This is just pure speed. So again, you want to start slow, work your way up. So I'd probably do this at about this tempo. Do that, get the pattern down, and every day use your metronome, speed it up just a little bit so you can eventually get to these insane Paul Gilbert speeds. Even I'm having a hard time, getting it all the way up to speed because Paul Gilbert, as we all know, is a madman. And I sort of am, but not as crazy as him. Okay, so to recap, guys, here is the pattern. Again, I'm starting in A, but you can move this anywhere you want. This is just for the example. 10, 12, 13, and then move down to 10 on the high E and come back up to 13, 12 on the B. So we're going to do it 3 times. And then the 4th time is just 10, 12, 13, and 10 on the high E. Okay, now we're going to move it to B, 2 frets to the right. All right, but feel free to take this pattern and move it anywhere you want on the fretboard. Alright, so that'll do it for this lesson, guys. What do you think? Do you love it? Do you super duper love it? Or do you love it more than you ever loved anything, including Paul Gilbert himself? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that jazz, and be on the lookout for part 3 very soon. You're welcome. Hello. Welcome to part 5 million of my Paul Gilbert series. Now I know what you're thinking.
I didn't even know there was a part 1.
We already did it. What do you mean? The string skipping one, you made it with him with like the 80s guitar with the frillies and you wanted to put the money in the background.
Oh.